Howdy folks, Cletus here. Sometimes I look around at the world and I see folks jumping in and out of relationships, always chasing the next big party. And then there's me, happy as a clam, sitting out on the porch swing with nothing but the crickets for company. Ever wondered if you're more than just an introvert? Here are 10 signs you might have a lone wolf personality. Let's dive in and see if any of this sounds familiar. First things first, lone wolves ain't scared of being alone. In fact, they crave it. Crowds and small talk? No thanks. Give them a fishing pole, a good view, and they're happy as a tick on a hound dog. It's not that they dislike people, they just don't need them to feel complete. They recharge in solitude, finding peace and quiet away from the hustle and bustle. Lone wolves are the epitome of, if you want something done right, do it yourself. They're resourceful, capable, and ain't afraid to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. They'd rather learn a new skill than rely on someone else. It's not about being stubborn, it's about trusting their own instincts and abilities. Lone wolves are independent cusses. They march to the beat of their own drummer and ain't afraid to forge their own path. They don't need anyone telling them what to do or how to live their lives. They value their freedom and autonomy above all else. Chapter 4. Lost in translation. Now, sometimes this independence can lead to feeling misunderstood. Folks see them doing their own thing and assume they're aloof or unfriendly, but that ain't it at all. Lone wolves just see the world a little differently. They operate on their own wavelength, and that can be confusing for folks who ain't used to it. Chapter 5. Friends in the right places. Lone wolves are careful about who they let into their lives. They'd rather have a small circle of trusted friends than a whole gaggle of acquaintances. They value quality over quantity, and they don't waste their time on relationships that ain't meaningful. Chapter 6. Seeing things differently. One thing about lone wolves, they ain't afraid to challenge the status quo. They're deep thinkers, always questioning and observing. This gives them a unique perspective on the world, and they ain't afraid to share it, even if it goes against the grain. Chapter 7. Let's be clear, being a lone wolf ain't the same as being lonely. These folks are perfectly content in their own company. They enjoy their own thoughts, their own hobbies, and they find solace in solitude. Chapter 8. Eyes on the prize. Lone wolves are a determined bunch. They set goals for themselves and they're relentless in pursuing them. They're driven by a deep-seated desire to make something of themselves, and they ain't afraid of hard work. Chapter 9. Free as a bird. For a lone wolf, freedom ain't just a word, it's a way of life. They got to answer to themselves and themselves alone. Anything that threatens that freedom, whether it's a clingy partner or a dead-end job, is going to get the boot sooner or later. Chapter 10. Lookin Inward. Lone wolves are introspective. They spend a lot of time looking inward, examining their thoughts and feelings. This helps them understand themselves better and makes them more self-aware, which is crucial for personal growth. Outro. Lone wolf pride. So, do you resonate with these signs? Maybe you're not just an introvert, but a true lone wolf. Embrace your unique personality. There's strength in independence, wisdom in solitude, and beauty in forging your own path. Don't let anyone tell you that you've got to be like everyone else. Remember, even a lone wolf plays a vital role in the ecosystem.